today we'll be talking about the importance of edge feathering your food sources. As you can see behind me here, it is extremely bare through here. We assessed this whole entire food plot during the spring, and I tagged trees that we're going to be coming through and felling in the winter. Now that we're finally into the winter months and we're starting to cut, we're going to go ahead and we're going to come in here and we're going to fell a lot of these smaller trees. Spring and summer are a good time to go ahead and tag the trees because you'll be able to see what kind of foliage they're producing and how canopied they're making your food source. You need to get 100% sunlight or pretty close to make these fall food sources really pop and do well. And not to mention, I like creating a little bit of depth coming into my food sources. That's why you edge feather. You'll have woody browse, grasses, forbs. You'll have a good transition from the bedding areas to the food source. But then also by getting full sun in here, I can come through and I can do a layering system. So I can have woody browse on the edge, and then I can plant switchgrass in here. I'll come in later this winter and we'll frost seed our switchgrass in. Works out great. You definitely need to edge feather all your food sources. Typically, white-tailed deer don't feel comfortable coming in these bare areas during daylight. It's very open, they can see for a long ways. If you create depth and you create side cover coming into these food sources, not only do they have browse, encouraging them to come from that to your major food source, you also have cover for them. We will also be continuing to do this on our other microplot on the far end of the property. We did our first cut last year on that food source and it worked out great. The deer actually preferred to be in that food plot later in the winter than this one. This one had the better fall food, but that one with the woody browse and cover, they seemed to stick to that in the later parts of the winter. It gave them side cover, gave them food, and they really enjoyed going into that food source. So that tells us we need to do the same thing in this food source. And then our major clover plot, we'll be edge feathering that as well. Once we get all these to where there's full sun, then we'll go ahead, like I said, we'll frost seed our switchgrass and we'll have a good screening of grass. Then we'll have woody browse and then so on through the transition routes. So by creating depth, edge feathering, and having a good food source where they feel comfortable coming into it, this is going to improve our daylight movement of all of our mature whitetail bucks that have been hitting this farm frequently. And I'm excited. We'll be coming back in here probably in a couple days, and all the trees that we tagged, we'll go ahead, we'll fell these, and we'll do a follow-up on edge feathering and this food source, our micro plot on the far end of the farm, and our clover plot down there. And then later this winter, we'll do another video of us coming through with our switchgrass and frost seeding it and explaining why you need full sun to get that grass really established, and also how to fight off competing weed competition, getting your pH correct, and things like that to be successful with your food sources and your screenings. So thanks guys for tuning in on this week's episode. I hope this helps you out. And if you're not already out there, get out there and start edge feathering your food plots.